Today I want to talk to you about this Mellif oil transfer pump. It's actually a diesel and oil transfer pump. It's basically for transferring larger amounts of diesel or oil from one large container into a vehicle or another large container. But today we're going to use it as a oil transfer pump to get the oil out of this generator. We got a generator project going on. The engine needs some work. And in order to do that, we got to drain the oil. Now, generally, most people really don't want to change oil because it's messy and sometimes it's really a pain in the butt. These things, because the oil ports in dipstick areas are so low to the ground, it's kind of hard to get anything really decent underneath there to catch that oil. We could do it that way, but today we're going to try out this Mellif pump and see just how efficient it is on just swapping oil back and forth out of like a generator or a lawnmower. Whatever we do today would transfer the capabilities basically right to a lawnmower, riding lawnmower, a push lawnmower, any kind of lawn or equipment that has oil in it can be transferred with this pump. So I'm going to have my associate here. Paul, would you go ahead and show them how to hook this thing up? It has a arrow on the front of this. I want to show you. It has an arrow right there that will tell you the direction of the flow, so you know where to hook up at. Now, with the arrow going that way, that means that port right there that he just pointed at will go into a jug, and the other port will go into the generator. Now, what I've done is I've taken and I have made some connections to go on there with some poly tubing that will allow us to put this down the dipstick port and suck the oil out through that way. This way we don't have to do a bunch of unnecessary crap just to get the oil out of there. So here you go.
We're going to set napkins down below this in case we have any drippage as well on both sides. This is going to be going into our discharge jug.
So if you notice on this jug, I've cut a hole in the top of this so that we can run that poly tubing right down in that jug.
Nice and secure. Removing our dipstick. We have a pad down here below too to prevent any kind of jerk. Insert this. And you.
What did you get that all the way down in there? That's got to go till it bottoms out.
That is bottomed out.
Okay. So if you notice over here, guys, we have a switch right here, which is for the light. This has got a two-stage light, high beam, low beam, basically. So you can point it right in the direction of what you're needing to light up and what you're working on.
Your work area.
So the pump switch is right there. We're going to see what happens. There it goes, guys. Look at that. Oh man, look at that. There it goes. He's moving that poly tubing around a little bit so he can try to get as much of that as possible at the bottom. Now this isn't going to 100% get everything out, but it's going to get the majority of it out to make a,
it's got some good suction.
It's going to make it to where it's not as big of a mess, a little easier to clean up. Went right into the jug that we set up for it, so it's going to be easy to dispose of the oil.
And that is almost...
And that oil definitely needed to come out of there. That was some dark oil.
I'd almost guarantee that's empty.
Okay, so I would hold that tube up and put your finger at the end and see if you can get it to suck everything out of that tube a little bit more. I can still see it moving I'm honestly seeing some clearing
It is
in the
clear.
tube now, so it's slowly getting the rest of it out. Hold that tube up.
That is clearing that out. That baby is empty. I would say that is empty.
Okay, so we still got a little bit in the tubes that we can deal with. But right there, as you can see, it only took a minute, minute and a half, if that, to completely drain the oil out of this large generator.
And less of a mess.
And if you want to look down here, look at what little mess there isn't.
Ta-da.
If we wouldn't have done it this way, there would have been a much larger mess.
Look at your cleanup.
So guys, right there is just showing you another use for this Mellif transfer pump. That's for oil, and it's also for diesel.
And you can
Now, you can't put water in this, and you can't put gasoline in this. It's not made for that. It's just made for diesel, probably kerosene, because kerosene has a degree of oil in it, and oil. And you could just imagine how quick it did that if you were having to transfer oil from a 50-gallon drum into something. This thing would just suck it right out. You would use larger hoses on it, and I didn't show any larger hoses because the hoses wouldn't fit down for what our purpose is. And so we went ahead and constructed the poly tubing setup, and this is perfect, guys. I'm going to use this on all my lawnmower oil changes, generator oil changes.
3/8 hose that we used on this too, and this is adequate enough to suck up oil out of any vehicle or a tractor implement or a farm equipment.
Yeah, it would. You could put it down any dipstick and and get it right on out. So, guys, this is really fantastic. This is way worth it. Now, this was running, in case you didn't know, this was running off of a Dewalt battery. So this is completely cordless. The company that makes this is Mellif, who makes a lot of fantastic cordless products that work off DeWalt batteries. You guys need to check them out. Just do a Google search for Mellif. This is incredible what this has done. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video. But guys, thanks for watching, and go get you one of these, man. These things are not that expensive. I think this is like a $89 pump here with multiple uses. Remember, it's not for water or gasoline. But they do have one that looks exactly like this that is for water. You could probably use gasoline on some of them, but I wouldn't use it on the water one either. But they have a pump just like this that's for water. And I'm sure it's every bit as efficient. Thanks, guys, for watching.